Hello! Welcome back. Christie Aphrodite of Soul Journeys Radio and Tobias Lars of soulcounseling.com. I'm here in Phoenix and, okay, you all know Tobias puts out some pretty brilliant videos, just jam-packed of information, and a couple years ago, I'm putting you on the spot, he put up a video talking about basically issues that women have and how we suppress ourselves and, just kind of things that are going on. And so I and many other women have been saying, Tobias, come on, when are you going to tell us how screwed up men are? So I thought this would be the perfect time. Actually, Tobias just had a birthday, and there's a plane.
Saved by the plane.
Oh my gosh, it says Tobias. Okay, so Tobias just had a birthday, and I kind of tried to organize a little
ambush.
Okay, an ambush. Where all the listeners, or not, obviously all of them, but everybody called in and, thanked him and wished him happy birthday. And Tobias is very, even from the first time I called you St. Toby, or I tell you how much you do for me and other people, you just kind of like, yeah, whatever. And it's kind of like what women have, the whole compliment thing. You're pretty. It's like, shut up, dude, don't lie to me. I'd have more respect for you if you just told me the truth, right? Like Tobias, who says, Christie, you've gained weight. Thanks.
In a good way. Even a man attempting that, I know, is like, oh.
Yeah, that was pretty bold. But that show just reminded me of some of the issues, and this isn't just about men. I'd like to talk about both men and women, how we both have a hard time accepting love, gratitude, compliments, and you did very well. I really thought you were going to kill me on that show.
No.
I'm surprised you. We were in the same house too, and like the break came, and I'm like, oh God, I better go hide. He's gonna get me. And it took you a minute to figure out that.
Yeah.
So we did surprise. Here, give me your hand so I can clap.
20 minutes.
Okay, yeah, it took him a while. Anyways, and you did end up handling it pretty well for you.
It's hard to receive. It's hard to receive. Yeah. The hardest thing is for us to, open up. We want to rescue others in the world. Like somebody said, America is really good at giving, but we have a hard time in receiving because we think receiving is the weak position. Like needing something. But I was surprised. I think I just don't. I'm like, you have to surrender. On the way home to real source God, you have to start surrendering to what the universe wants to do for you.
Like the first time I told you I love you on the show, you're like, exactly. You're like, oh man, don't say that. Ooh, what does that entail? So maybe we can start off with talking about some of the blocks that you experience as a male. And, again, we experience it too, so this is obviously a universal thing. But yeah, what men in particular though, and obviously the way we women raise them, we raise them to not have emotions, right? Oh, it's okay for the girl to cry, but the boy, oh, you're supposed to be tough and macho, and if you cry, you're a sissy, or if you have feelings, don't talk about it. So obviously us women are to blame for that in men as well. And the truth is, I think you tackled this in your video, that women, that say they want a nice emotional man, they're always running, I think you said, to the big, burly biker, ass kicker, badass naughty boy type situation. So I can imagine it would be really hard for men when there's a woman, saying, talk to me, share your feelings with me, stop nagging at me. So yeah, what does that come from, or what are some of the various issues?
This is a huge topic,
and we have 10 minutes.
The male-female programming. But yeah, in that one video I made, I had an inspiration. The way I do the videos is I feel them come as a sort of unfinished piece of seed light energy that wants to be said, and I sort of flesh it out. But I was in touch with, for the woman video, about the woman, really, you watch that video separately, but it's about the void, and the woman often settles for less than real love, heart, spirit awakening, or in partners because of some imprints that the feminine has. It's about imprinting, really. And so the male imprinting, for men, in one of its basic forms is it feels suffocated, controlled, overloved, and like you're trapping me. Even the word husband, the word husband, husband in Swedish, right? Or means housebound. Trapped in the house. Because why? Because the Vikings, during the winter time, basically the women would kick them out and go, get the hell out of here, go, wherever you go with your ships, and we'll see you in the spring, And so the men then went off to the south, where in Greece and Italy, and plundered, and down the coasts, right? And so the name for a guy that got stuck in the house was housebound, husband. And so there's a fear in the male. The male likes to explore. You can liken it to sunlight, Sunlight likes, if you start sunlight, it goes at the speed of light. And it keeps going forever. Energy, keeps going forever. And so if the male has a fear of being trapped, controlled, suffocated, or he feels shut down, controlled by that. So that's one of the fears that the man feels when the woman wants to get emotional. There's been an experience for the male side of, you're going to trap me. It's, whether it's in the Odyssey, I think, by Homer, the sirens on the island, the women are calling Odysseus over to, if I got that right, Iliad, I forget which one it is. But it says, then they're going to trap him, So there's an archetypal fear of being contained, shut down, owned, controlled, trapped, smothered, okay? So even if that's Freud, he'll take it all the way back to the young boy is feeling smothered by nursing on the breasts of the mother. He can be smothered by that. Look at the word smother. Take off the S. What do you get? Mother.
Yeah, but at the same time, men just want more boobies. So
that's right. So it's a Jekyll and Hyde syndrome of, I want bigger, giant, bigger, more, duns, whatever, boobies, and I'm afraid of them because they will smother me. So it's this dichotomy, like we talked about with the woman, the Madonna whore complex men have, or like the good guy versus bad guy, the bad boy versus, oh, my nice husband, for the women. Well, men have the similar thing of the Madonna whore thing, Yeah. Men don't fuck their wives. They make
Isn't that crazy?
Obligatory love. Yeah, we have sex once in a while.
We make love.
Right. So that schizophrenia is, of course, there, with the man. But these archetypes, so being trapped, being afraid of, fearful of the emotional the literally hypnotization, okay? Because it has been used in Avalon and different places. There would be so it's that nesting instinct of being trapped, house-bound, tied up. The other guys would walk by the house and go, Eric, are you coming? No, I am bound to the house. My camera.
Please continue.
My camera thankfully gave up and said, Tobias, you cannot tell these secrets about men. No, so there is a fear. So again, the housebound husband thing was the Vikings would march by and go, Eric, are you in the house? Yes, I'm stuck in the house. Oh, he's housebound. He's a husband. And so there is a fear of being trapped. When the emotional thing comes up for men, they feel, I'm going to be manipulated and in a sense bewitched, right? These are the old patterns. You're going to befuddle and glamorize me like in Avalon in those times. The women literally, there is a way of hypnotizing, bewitching men. The potions, come on, it still goes on. You can go buy some red candle right now at the Santeria store here locally and bewitch your man, because men are stupid, men are dumb, men are unobservant, men are easily befuddled.
He just doesn't know he's in love with me. Women.
Yeah. So there's a fear in the man, that archetype of sunlight wants to go explore. You know, even in the doggies, the male dog Bentley, our doggy, he's like, I'm at the park. I have to explore everything and everyone I can see. And Miley and Snix is awesome. You don't ever need a leash on her. They just will hang around you. You know, there's a different... So the men are afraid of that suffocation, that smothering of their spirit, that neutering of their wildness. And it really shouldn't be neutered. Sometimes I say to women and go, why do you want to neuter your men?
We really don't.
No, you don't.
Because once we do,
then
we're off.
You don't want them.
See,
Exactly.
that was a fun little project.
So both the man and woman need to, we're both waking up. We are in a sense different frequencies. You could say it as that beautiful triangle or the heart. Imagine an upside down heart, like the peak is at the top. That's the woman. Nice curve at the bottom.
That's what I put in my painting. The heart like this, and the heart under.
Yeah.
That's what came.
And you put one on top too?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that, and in the middle of that is the actual Kundalini. It forms a Star of David, if you will, but it's like a Merkaba. So the man is literally the heart that we see normally, you know, or you could do the triangle that way. And then the woman is, and then when you combine those, that forms the as above, so below.
I didn't know that.
And then the channel running down the middle is the life force that can divide into male or female, you know. But so we have different fears. So the male archetypal fear has something more to do with you're trapping me as sunlight. Imagine if we took the sun and put a big box around it and it couldn't shine out into space. Men are afraid of that. And they think sometimes that if I open up to the emotional part of it too much, I'm going to get befuddled, I'm going to get hypnotized. So they've learned to just, I have to shut that off. And there was a time on earth when the feminine, it takes two to tango, so the feminine has done that. There was a time when, for example, women used men simply, you know, they would use them and throw them away, you know, just like men do, you know.
Wham bam, thank you, sir.
Exactly. But worse. And so we've both abused each other or been afraid of the other, or really say, look, I'm friends with the guys or I'm friends with the women, and we just use them for what we want to use them for. And the battle of the sexes and all that. So men are afraid to go into the den of the woman's heart and feelings because he feels I'm going to be trapped inside of that. So that's one of the archetypal imprints in the male principle of I'm traveling through space and here's some planet that's calling me and I'm going to get trapped on this planet and not get
She's really beautiful, so I want to go visit, but
right.
gotta get out.
So we're working that out. We're working that out as men and women, you know.
I gotta ask you this. You said frequency, and that reminded me of a revelation. Well, I don't know whether it's true or not, but it did come to me. We know some men that have a hard time listening to women at all. It's just, and you know, it happens in radio, it happens anywhere. If a man's speaking, you know, there's really nobody's really criticizing, but if a woman does, then the wolves come out to criticize. And my revelation was, because I know men, it's instinctual, but it's not. They love women, they respect women, so it's kind of easy to say when that happens. Like the one person we know in common. I can say something, and you can say something. The exact same thing. If you say it, it's all good. If I say it, ah! La 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 la! Stop nagging! Ah! And I finally realized, I think, or it's just a guess, the thought popped in my mind a couple weeks ago that it's the frequency. That maybe it's the frequency that doesn't resonate. It's not necessarily that it's a woman saying it, and it's not that they hate women or anything like that, that sometimes, you know, oh, well, he's just a misogynist and we want to, you know, blow him off. But do you think it has something to do with the frequency, maybe even the sound, or...
Yeah, some men, not the, you know, a portion of men on the planet can't hear anything from a woman.
Yeah, and it's not that they hate women.
No.
Some do, but who I'm talking
They're
about,
afraid.
they love women.
We're afraid of it. We're afraid of each other. Women are hopelessly attracted to men and also terrified of a man's rage or explosion, you know, explosive rage, for example. A man is hopelessly attracted to a woman and afraid of being trapped in her emotional, soft little den of fancy red handkerchiefs.
Women have rage too.
Yes. Yeah, and we're afraid of that. Men are afraid of that too. And so we are triggered by, our imprints get triggered by the other sex. And the real thing that's coming up as I choke on the words is that we're going to have the courage to... There's nothing... The game is fun. See, it's fun to find your way home. It's fun to be, you're very different than me, and I'm hopelessly attracted to that. That's a lot of good energy, right? If you get too similar, you're like, you know. So we've set this game up. And so it's not about judging that you should be able to open up quicker and this and that. No. But, so the imprints are different. Now I'm trying to simplify it so it can resonate some for people a little bit. Like, so the woman is, I'm attracted to the male energy. I feel, I don't even know why. We don't even know why. Yeah. It's just an attraction. And then I'm scared of it because it's dangerous. But that's attractive too. You know, it's that thing, right? And the men are, I'm attracted to that because it gives me a soft place to rest. I'm using, and I know that's generalizations, but there's the male-female frequency spectrum. I'm attracted to that because I feel safe. I need to have a softening. I need to have a place where I can say what I really feel. And yet you scare me because I don't really want to be that open, and now I'm going to run away, right? So it's like we're attracted and repelled. We're attracted and repelled. And the real spiritual journey then is to, when that happens, to not always talk about it as men and women, but to feel about it, to feel into it. Because if we talk about it, we can all start mentalizing. But it's like you're carrying a frequency you're not aware of, an energy. You know, like sometimes men will look at women and go, my God, that's just so beautiful.
And she's hot, but please shut up.
and the woman is like, doesn't recognize what are you seeing? What are you, like, you know, when they'll look at you in the kitchen and you'll go, what are you smoking? I'm doing dishes. And the man's like, oh, I'm just melting into you. You know what I mean? So it's like, and then there's a frequency or a maleness in a man that the woman just goes, oh, I don't know why, but I'm really liking that. And you're like, I'm out here freaking grinding bolts on the car. What's your problem? Right? I'm like underneath it with oil on me, and you know my jeans, just ripped. You know, and she's like, yeah, that's what I love. You know. So instead of go with, oh, what is it that actually attracts you? You know, and that's why people say don't destroy the mystery of it. So we've done it on purpose, you know. But
I
also
think there is a frequency thing, though. Really, I mean, if you're a musician, so if you play like a D flat and then an A sharp, they don't really go so well. But at the same time, if you play a D flat and a C sharp, well, that is the same thing. It's just a different name.
I think there's because of the split that occurred on Earth, where actually before that occurred in the fourth dimension. Before that, the astral worlds, the heavens, where the male and the female, God and goddess, if you will, bumped into each other and scared each other. You know, exactly. Imagine two teenagers in the dark that they have been raised in the dark, and they bump into each other in the night, and there's these strange attractions, and they don't know what that other thing is. Could you imagine? It would be like you're attracted and going, "Oh my God, this is dangerous." Right?
Yeah.
That's what literally happened in the fourth dimension. As the universe was birthing itself, the male principle and the female principle bumped into each other before they knew who they were. And so there was some definite battle that went on, like, push you away, you're dangerous, and yet I'm hopelessly attracted to you. You're evil, you're horrible. So these ancient male, imagine that, right? Two teenage kids, human beings that you raise in the dark. You feed them, they don't learn language, they don't learn anything. Horrible experiment, I know. But imagine if you actually then one day put them in the same room, and they would have this sexual, emotional attraction to the other, but they would have no clue who they are, and what the hell's going on. That's what happened with the universe at first. And we, as the children of that polarized universe, male-female polarity, we carry some of those deep imprints in us, so we're attracted and repelled, and you don't understand me, you never listen to me, you don't even get me. Different frequency, like Christie's saying, you know. And the challenge is to not freak out when you feel like I am married or I am having a relationship with a freaking alien, you know. That's what you're going to feel. That man, can men actually be that thick-headed and ignorant? Can they? I can hear women I can hear millions of women thinking that right now. And men going, really? Are women? Do women need to frickin' yak about everything? Could they just shut up for a little bit? I will build a bunker in the backyard just to get away from that, right? So, yeah. So we are operating on different operating systems. It's like Mac and Windows or something, you know? Yeah.
Is there, like, hope for men and women to ever kind of get it together, you know, the heart within the heart, and merge? I mean, are you seeing it happen?
I'm seeing the purging right now.
Okay.
The purging right now, mostly. Huge purging. And then after that, we will have a new model, because the old model has been an adversarial relationship model. Literally, there are beings from other parts of our galaxy, that's far out for some people I know, but there are influences, if you will, that wanted adversarial unions on Earth, meaning the battle of the sexes. Okay? And so really that's the model we have. We have an adversarial legal system and an adversarial marriage system.
Yes.
And that's been a model that has served certain purposes, because war serves certain interests. But so we don't have a lot of actual real-life examples of... occasionally we know, oh, they've been married 50 years and there's actually love still left in their marriage, and it's some amazing thing. Instead of just hanging in there for 50 years, we freaking made it. You know, that's not love.
Like
so,
staying married just because they're afraid to get divorced.
Yeah, or that they're sticking it out because some religious thing written on tissue paper, you know, told them to. Tissue paper, I'm sorry, you know, I'm known to be sacrilegious, but it's all has its place. But so yes, there's deep imprints that male and the female principle trigger in each other, and it has to do with deep space and light. And light, it's the magnetic womb mixing with physical or spiritual light, which eventually is like sunlight in space. Those two are seemingly opposite elements, yet those two are absolutely needed to create life on Earth. You gotta have...
Sick joke.
Sick joke? Who came up with this?
God is
Who
not
the hell
funny.
came up with this? Mars, Venus, forget that stuff. I'd rather not have a penis, not be from Venus. I'd rather not have an arse, so go to Mars. Come on, stop it.
I didn't really know, honestly, that men were afraid of women controlling them. And I guess that's just my perception coming out of the opposite type of environment, where it seems like men just want to control women. What are some of the ways that women use to control men?
Well, I want to say, first of all, why men want to control women is because they're afraid of being controlled.
Okay.
You know, yeah.
But what are some of the techniques we use
I
that
shouldn't
maybe
talk
we're
about-
using now and we just don't even know it?
Well, we shouldn't talk about that here. That's for you to talk about.
That's right.
No, I mean women.
This is about men
Yeah,
and why they
exactly.
suck.
Exactly. So we will run away. We will avoid, dealing with that emotionally. We, from one perspective too, from the man, he feels sometimes, I don't want to talk a lot about it. I want to. I feel it. I got my feelings, but before I actually voice them to others, I don't want to voice them lightly. So sometimes it helps women to understand the man is feeling. He's feeling very, very much, but he doesn't want to talk to people about it. He wants to,
Work it out on his own.
He wants to osmosis it. Like when two guys are talking about stuff, it's sort of like, hey, how you doing? Okay, fine. Done. Right? Mm-hmm. That was like, I'm sorry, I, did that shit to you the other day, and I apologize, and I won't do it again. That's what was said with that, hey, okay, don't worry about it. Done, right? So men don't like to have it out there sometimes. So learning to read the man when his heart is there, but he doesn't want to talk about it. Allowing that, then the nagging thing goes away. But that doesn't mean that sometimes the quote nagging thing is about you need to start getting that stuff out and get conscious. We're using different communication systems. Basically.
Yeah, because I think from a woman's perspective, we feel left out. Mm-hmm. If you want to just handle it on your own. It's like, come on, baby, just talk to me. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
And so then we become enraged. But I also think it's important for women to, as you mentioned, that men are a little more direct and fiery and, maybe some little rage and they're afraid of, exploding or maybe women are afraid of that. But at the same time, those are real feelings. And I think we women can help men be more comfortable talking about things by providing them a safe space and realizing, big deal, just because you got mad and yelled for a minute, it's not the end of the world. It doesn't mean he's going to abuse you or torture you or anything. So we should listen, listen wholeheartedly and, let him get it out. Just like, we have to get some stuff out sometimes too, and it isn't always a sweet little nice voice,
Right.
It comes a little direct. We have to provide that for our men too.
The two scared teenagers in the dark room, which is what we are, they're gonna push each other and go back off, or you're freaking crazy, or whatever, And so the more we can accept some of the upheaval and craziness and the reaction and imprints, it's sort of like, okay, I understand. I'm screwed up, or I'm not fully formed yet is one way to say it. I'm not fully developed yet. We're not fully developed in how to have relationships on Earth yet. So be patient with ourselves that way, But so today I think what you were asking was, like we talked about women being afraid of being abandoned in a sense as a deep archetypal level in that other video. For the man, I think it's more the deep archetypal fear imprint is the fear of being stifled, controlled, trapped,
housebound,
smothered, housebound, neutered, shut off, from that exhilarating light force, light beams traveling across the universe. That's the basic archetypal fear in the man, that the mother will smother. That's why men hate it when you go, oh honey, let me fix your hair. Get that shit off of me. Stop doing that.
I don't like it either.
Right? Nobody likes that. But because what that triggers is, you're my mommy. I don't want you to be my mommy. For example, as one little example. But we could do, this is really, 20 shows to do that. But as a basic archetype,
the sun's going down.
Then the sun's down. So the basic archetypal thing for men, I think, is that they're explorer, effervescing, starlight that explodes across the universe gets trapped somewhere in one little planet, and that makes them feel stifled, shut off, strangled. And so we need to learn that that's not going to happen, that you can move freely in and out of, and the man needs to balance. He can't just be starlight all the time, because that's very brittle. Imagine always traveling in a spaceship for 1,000 years. That's not healthy for you. You need to rest. You need to emotionally open, you need to soften your stance. And so the men's challenge is to allow that safe, soft, comforting place where they can comfort themselves in the womb of the woman, right? And allow that for the man to be able to let that in. Because without the man being able to let that in, the man lives very short, mortal, fearful, warlike lives. So that's how it'll help the man. The man needs to soften his stance some, and the woman needs to come out of her neediness. See, all of this stuff can be judged, what I'm saying, okay? If you take it just as snapshots. The woman needs to come out of her neediness. You don't need a man, and some of you are reacting and saying, I don't need a man. Yeah, that's true, but you got to really heal it instead of just surface it. The man needs to accept, I want the love of a woman. We do want to share and meet in that place. How do you stay independent, enjoy each other's differences, come together, enjoy each other, and not smother or control each other? That's the key. And so we're learning that. We're evolving back towards that. Yes, it's coming. 200 years from now, it'll be very different on planet Earth. How we do relationships. Yeah,
you said that men can't fuck their wives.
Right. I said
What's
that?
What's up with that? You'll make love, sweet, gentle, soft love, but why? I mean, why do you need the whore, the prostitute, or the other woman to fuck? Why not your wife?
Same schizophrenia that the woman has with the bad boy versus my husband. It's we think lust is wrong. We think lust shouldn't go with God, and we think God is love because we've been told so. So therefore my lust shouldn't mix with my love. So my love is for my wife and my lust is for the stripper, right? So we've separated the lust and the love, and really both of those L's need to come together, right? It's called the lust lock inside your kundalini, because when that opens up, it starts flooding up into your heart, and sometimes when you actually make love, you'll have your heart, this area will get flooded with blood. You'll get warm, red in the chest, and that is a symptom, and you'll get heat coming up and down your head, and there's some sweat, right? And if you haven't experienced that, don't judge yourself. But that's kundalini awakening, right? So often we just keep the lust down here, or hiding on the internet. I can't share that with a woman I'm with, what really turns me on. And then we have sort of obligatory marital or relationship sex with the person we're with, because it's going to undo us when we mix the two. It's going to undo us because
Sounds
you can't.
Fun to me.
It is fun, but it also triggers all the stuff that's been hiding in between. In other words, those suppressed feelings, which are where? In your belly, in your heart. So as this energy of the lust, which is very powerful because it creates the universe, as it comes up through the channel of your kundalini, it will start pushing that stuff out. And so any hidden fears or judgments or shames about that God can't accept lust, which is stupid because God created lust, right? But of course he can, she can. So we are learning, and if you instantly try to go, let's have an open marriage and love each other, all hell will break loose, okay? Realistically, but that is where we're headed. We're headed back to non-ownership. No controlling each other, open relationships. True polyamory is the same thing Jesus Christ talked about. Now watch out for the creepy fake stuff that goes on.
Yes.
Which will feel really sticky and icky, and it'll have really good story, but it'll feel icky. So we have to be gentle with ourselves. Our own spiritual awakening will include the reawakening of lust and love coming together. Yeah, baby. I don't know. We're handicapped. Come on.
We are.
Yeah.
We're getting kind of dark here.
Yeah.
There's so much more I want to talk to you about, but we're going to try to do more of this. Of course, we live 1,500 miles away. But we're going to figure out a way to do it online.
Yeah.
So if there's any topics that you would like us to talk about, just, put it in the comments below or send us an email, and definitely check it out on the show. 3.5 years, every Thursday night, Awakening Souls with Tobias Lars. You can get all of the archives. It's like, I don't know, 1,000 hours or something. But yeah, is there anything else you want to share before the lights go out on us?
No, thank you, Christie. And hopefully you and I can end up doing a radio show that we do that's even... I've loved doing Soul Journeys with you and Truth Brigade. It is awesome. But there's something coming that's going to be even more free, that mixes all this. We mix spirit with love, with lust, with fucking, with God, with food,
Say
with
that
life.
again.
No. You know, so...
Isn't it nice to just be able to say it and not, you know, somebody's pointing fingers at you, or ooh, you're going to hell, or
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's important. It's healing. It's healthy.
Absolutely.
There's no such thing as a bad word.
No.
I mean, bad intention, but you know. So fuck. Say it again.
Fuck.
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 Fuck. Fuck. Fuck. And they're looking at us. Let's do one more time for good measure. Fuck.
Fuck.
Fuck. Okay, no, seriously.
We're gonna
Any
get
topics?
the police are coming shortly. We're in the
The
park.
fucking police are fucking coming. Oh, fuck! Okay, well, that does sometimes happen on our Thursday night show at souljourneysradio.com. That's 7 to 9 p.m. Central. And, yeah, sorry we ran out of time, but let us know what you'd like us to talk about. And Christie and Toby show coming soon. Thanks
Thank you.
for joining us, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Phoenix out.